Hey, so I've had my YouTube channel for a while and I've kind of uploaded a few things, but I guess now would be like a good time to kind of introduce like who I am and stuff. Right now I'm in a hotel and I'll be in a hotel for a long time because last week on Tuesday night, actually, let's see, in a little less than 2 hours, my life was basically ruined. I'm sorry this is really bad quality. I don't have any fancy camera or setup or even editing. I don't know the first thing about editing. And even if I had those things, they would probably be gone. So last Tuesday, about 6 o'clock, the power went off, and we live in Maine, so it's not really a big thing in the wintertime, because it's always like the snow or wind, and this time it was wind. And we've been having really weird weather lately. It's been like 50 degrees one day, and then 20 the next, and then 40 the next day, and then -5 during the night. And this happened to be a like 46-degree night, and it was extremely windy. And I was laying in bed wearing just a t-shirt and my underwear, and watching Netflix and texting my boyfriend. And my dog's on the bed next to me. And the power went out. And I was like, oh, crap. Because we don't have heating in our house right now. Just little space heaters. Or we did. And then I was like, okay, no Netflix. And I shut my computer. And I just laid on my side, and I had 4G on my phone, so I just kind of played a game on there while I talked to my boyfriend. And the power came back on, and I was like, oh, okay, well, kind of doing something now. I don't really have any interest in Netflix right now. And I don't even know, like 15 minutes later, power went off again. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because we had just bought that generator over the summer. Because from the beginning of July all the way until like a week before Thanksgiving, we didn't have electricity because we couldn't pay the bill. And so we were on generator power during the day. And so this was a fairly new generator, and I was like, oh, fuck, what happened to it now? And then I start hearing screaming downstairs. Like, not like blood curdling screaming, but I hear something going on, like something isn't right. The next thing I know, my brother comes charging up the stairs, call 911, call 911. And that's all he was saying to me. And I was like, okay, I'll call 911. What am I calling 911 for? And he just goes, call 911, the generator, call 911. And I hear screaming downstairs to get outside, and we have to get the animals out, and the generator had exploded. It caught on fire, and it had been in a gray van that we hadn't used in a really long time. and the wind was so fierce that immediately the gray car was engulfed in flames, and not long after that, so was our garage. I get down, I didn't have my glasses on at the time when I called 911, and it was dark, obviously, so I was like trying to find them on my bedside table, which was a mess. And I'm up in my room and I start hearing this popping, and I was just, I didn't really know what was going on. And I get downstairs and my mom shoves my dog's leash into my hand and is telling me that I have to get outside. And I didn't have shoes on. I didn't know where my nearest shoes were, so I just kind of slipped on a pair of like these velvety knee-high gray boots. I didn't even have socks. Hadn't even bothered to put pants on. And I have my dog's leash like around my hand and then wrapped around it and around my wrist because she's a big dog. She's big. And there's a lag with this software, so everything's kind of like delayed a few seconds, so it's weird. So, the second we open the front door, I feel like heat. And it wasn't like an intense heat. It was just kind of warm. And I step out on the front porch, and I guess my dog immediately sensed something was wrong. Or it was because my neighbor was right there. I don't know. But he kind of like grabbed her and pulled us off the porch, and I landed on my knee on the ice. And I get behind our SUV, which my dad had moved from right next to the gray van to, like right in the front yard. And I was standing behind it, and I wasn't even watching the fire. I'm sorry. I wasn't watching the fire. I was watching the front door. Because we had 8 cats, a dog, and a rabbit. And if my dog and I were out, and my dad was trying to put the fire out with the help of my neighbor, then where were my mom and brother, and how were they getting the cats out? And my neighbor took my dog from me, and I wanted to go back in the house, but they wouldn't let me. And I sat across the street in my neighbor's house with my dog and one of my neighbors. And I was just watching. It was so... It didn't even feel real. It doesn't even feel real now, even though I'm having a real response. But when everybody finally came over, my mom and brother brought over my dog's big crate, and there were 3 of the cats in it. One of mine that I had since I was in the 1st grade, and the 2 littlest cats. And I was like, where are the rest of them? And my mom says Nacho, which is our rabbit, Nacho, Beans, and Francis are in the car, and they're okay. And I was like, okay. What about Romer, Pippa, and Sam, Sam was Zygmunt's brother, who I also had since I was in the 1st grade. My mom says that they weren't cooperating and they kept running away and they couldn't stay in the house any longer. And she had left the back door open and the basement door open. And she said hopefully they'll find their way out. So we sat for hours and hours and hours watching them fight this fire, and all I could think of was, are my cats okay? Did they get out? And at about 10:30, the fire was finally out, and my parents went over, and they didn't make it. The house isn't completely gone. The garage is, but I don't care. I don't care how many precious memories or material things that I lost. I wish it were me instead of those 3 cats. I really do. And I don't know specifically what kind of YouTuber I want to be. Like, I have this set up with this particular program that I'm using for, like, I could do, like, little flash games, do, like, that kind of video. I don't know if I want to be, like, a vlogger. I mean, yeah, kind of, but I'm not really funny. I mean, I can be, but it's mostly unintentionally. But, one of my friends did start a fundraiser for me. I don't have many subscribers, so I don't know. I don't really know. But I'll put the link down there. But I thought now would be a good time to put out kind of a life update video since a lot has been happening in my life. So, any help, any donation, no matter what size, even if you just share it with friends, that's a big help. So, I didn't know what this video was supposed to accomplish, but there you go. There's an update on my life. Like, subscribe, comment. Please share the link. Have an awesome day.